Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to graph using vertex form of an equation. How to graph parabolas using vertex form. We have this equation here, y equals 3x minus 4 squared minus 12. This is in vertex form because, if you recall, vertex form is y equals a x minus h squared plus k. A tells you the orientation of the parabola, if it opens up or down. H tells you the horizontal shift of the parabola, and you change the sign. K tells you the vertical shift of the parabola, and you do not change the sign. So let's go by parts. First, I know that A equals 3. Since A equals 3, which is greater than 0, it means that it opens up. My parabola will open upwards, okay? What about the vertex? I know that h equals 4, k equals negative 12. So if I change the sign inside of the parentheses, I get a positive 4. And outside, I do not change the sign, I just copy it directly, giving me negative 12. I now have my vertex. Also, once I know the vertex, I know the axis of symmetry. If you recall, the axis of symmetry is the vertical line that passes through the vertex, through the x-coordinate of the vertex. So the axis of symmetry is the vertical line, x equals 4. Now, how do I find a y-intercept? You find y-intercepts by making x equal to 0 and solving for y. So that will give me this equation. Y equals 3, 0, minus 4 squared minus 12. Let's work it out. 0 minus 4 gives me negative 4 minus 12. Negative 4 squared gives me 16. 6 times 3 is 18. And 30 and 1, 4. 48 minus 12. 48 minus 12 gives me 36. I now have my y-intercept. Y-intercept at the point, because it's a point on the y-axis with coordinates x equals 0, that's why we had the 0 here, and y equals 36. That is my y-intercept. Now, before going just directly into calculating an x-intercept, let's see if it makes sense to find an x-intercept. We know, it might not make sense because it might not even cross the x-axis. Let's figure it out here. We know that it opens up. And we know that our vertex is at 4, negative 12. Let me make a quick sketch of that. 4, negative 12, which is our vertex, is in the 4th quadrant. I'm going to say it's here, 4, and negative 12 is here. My vertex is exactly here. I know that it opens up. If it opens up, it means it has to cross the x-axis at some point. So I do have two x-intercepts. I'm going to have one here and another one here. My y-intercept, I'll graph it now that I'm at it. It's 0, 36. This is my y-intercept. Now let's find our x-intercepts. The condition to find any x-intercept is make y equal to 0 and solve for x. Sorry, I misspelled that. So I'm going to make my y equal to 0. My original equation was y equals 3x minus 4 squared minus 12. I'm copying that down here. And again, the condition is make y equal to 0. I'm making my y equal to 0. Now let's solve for x. First of all, I have different things going on to the x. If I follow order of operations, first I have negative 4, so I subtract square. Then I multiply by 3. And lastly, I subtract 12. I'm going to do that in reverse order to solve. That's just solving a regular equation. So first I need to add 12 on both sides. If I add 12, I'm left over with 12 equals 3x minus 4 squared. Now I need to divide everything by 3. Divide by 3 here, divide by 3 there, leaving me with 4 equals x minus 4 squared. Now, before taking square roots to remove the squared, I'm going to rewrite my equation. I'm going to flip it, just to make it look nicer, no other reason. Now I'm going to take square roots on both sides, square root here and square root there, leaving me with x minus 4 equals. Now remember, if I have something squared equals 4, then that something equals plus or minus the square root of 4. What is the square root of 4? That's equal to 2. So x minus 4 equals plus or minus 2, leaving me with these two options. X minus 4 equals positive 2, or x minus 4 equals negative 2. Adding 4 here and 4 here, I get x equals 6. On the other side, I do the same process. Plus 4, leaving me with x equals 2. Those are my two x-intercepts, x equals 2 and x equals 6. My x-intercepts are the points 2, 0, and 6, 0. Again, the y-coordinate is 0 because that is the condition to make to find my x-intercept. I make my y equal to 0. Now I can just label them here. This is the point 2, and this is the point 6. And all this process is what helped us find all the pieces of information for this graph.